Hey guys, Big Air 01 coming at you with another video on my 2016 WR250R. As some of you may be aware who have subscribed to my channel, I've done several mods to my 2016 WR250R, and if you want to check out all of those videos, check them out on my channel, and be sure to subscribe and like all the videos that if you like the videos. Only about 10% of you have subscribed or subscribed. 90% of the people that watch my videos are not subscribed, and it'd be really awesome if we could increase that number. But for all the people that are subscribed, thank you so much for your support. But for this video, a lot of people are doing their own kind of Supermoto front fender, and so I figured, you know what, I eventually will have some Supermoto wheels put on this bike. So I figured let's just do a video on Supermoto fenders. So this is my fender here, and we're going to be installing a YZ85 Acerbis fender. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. All right, so I wanted to talk a little bit about the fenders themselves and why I'm doing this. So just for reference, I ended up ordering a 2015 to 2017 Yamaha YZ85 fender. This fender is made by Acerbis. I paid $29, I think, for this fender on eBay. And so, you know, one of the reasons why you would want to switch to a Supermoto fender, I mean, I think Acerbis also makes a Supermoto fender that it's a little bit more flat at the top, but one of the reasons why you want to switch your fenders out if possible is that your dirt tires are 21 inches in diameter when you're in the dirt setup. But once you switch over to the Supermoto setup, these wheels turn into 17-inch wheels. So they're quite a bit smaller, and that fender looks kind of funny because it's quite a bit longer than it should be. So as you can see right there, it's going to be a tiny bit shorter. So I did my research and I found out that a YZ85 basically has a 17-inch wheel. So I figured, why not order a fender for a YZ85, and then I can make some new holes so that I can basically I'm just gonna have to make some new holes for this to fit up. So it's gonna be a little bit more custom. As you can see, I do a lot of custom work on my bike. Okay, so a couple things I want to point out. This fender is gonna need some serious modification to be able to put on there. As you can see right here, you want to make sure that your headlight angle doesn't really change. So what I'm getting at is you want to kind of keep a rough idea how far away that piece is from your fork, so you can kind of gauge that you're at the right height. So when you'll see when I take this off how much of a difference the two fenders are. So okay, so here they are married up to each other, sort of roughly where they're going to sit, and you can sort of see the difference in the length of them, right? So one of the reasons why I like the Acerbis was because I wouldn't have to do any cutting. It already has a nicely pointed fender, which a lot of guys are liking that. I actually like the pointed fender as well, but when guys are cutting, so this is my stock fender, when guys are cutting, they'll cut down along here, and it doesn't look as well as, let's say, that. So I mean, you can definitely see that this will look a lot better than if you actually cut it. So no fault to the guys that cut it, because that's, you know, what they want to do, but I'm choosing to go with the aftermarket fender just because I think it'll look better. It'll look more custom, and it won't look funny. So let's try to figure out how we're going to do this. So with this one, I know I'm going to have this front fender sticking up quite a bit. So because it's going to be up more like that on the bike, but as you can see, the rear fender part of it is pretty much the same. I'm going to have to drill 4 new holes completely. I'm going to drill holes in back here on this. But all I'm going to do is get a piece of paper, lie it over top, and get the holes, and then mount the holes on, or mount that piece of paper on here as best I can, and drill the holes. Okay, so I've got my piece of paper. I've got it lined up so that it's even right to the edge there. And now I'm just going to find out where the holes are and punch them through with a pen. Okay, so there I have them all roughly laid out. Obviously I'm going to use a drill and probably a Dremel to get it as best as I can to fit. But now I should be able to take this piece of paper and put it on the other fender and drill some holes. And you know what? This is $29. If I make any mistakes, I can always order another one, and I've never screwed up my original fender that I will always keep for this bike. All right, so these 4 holes are a 1/4 inch diameter. Okay, so as you can see, I sort of have it dry fitted there. The front 2 bolts will probably be long enough on this because I'm gonna end up tilting it up a bit, but you're gonna have to get some longer rear bolts and then put a washer or some kind of plastic washer in here to help with it. But as you can see, I'm a little bit off, so I'm glad I didn't drill those holes first. So just a tip, just do a dry fit on the fender itself. And now I'm just gonna mark where it is on each one, and then drill the hole. And I'm going to drill it so that it's a little bit on the inside of that, so that there's a little bit of room for the grommet. And these holes are a 1/2 inch thick with the grommet that goes inside there. This is what it looks like from the front, so it's nice and straight. And like I said, I'm going to have to drill those. As you can see, I'm centered on there, so that's good. And then I'll just drill those last holes. And I'm just going to take a Dremel and drill it out a bit. Okay, so I've got my headlight off. I am running into a little bit of an issue with this. It doesn't want to sit all the way in there. So, because it doesn't want to sit all the way in there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit off here and a little bit off here to help let it sit down in there better. Okay, so that's in there now. Hopefully when I put it on the bike, it stays in there. So let's go see what it looks like. Okay, so it's pretty much all dry fitted on there, guys. Couple things. Obviously, you're gonna want to get some longer screws for the back here. You're going to want to put some sort of washer. I've got some plastic washers I can stick between here and there to help keep it tight. This fender, I mean, it's up to you if you want to buy this fender, but this light, if you can see in there, it only is just kind of hooked in there, but it's not moving anywhere. I mean, I'm pulling on that pretty good. So, I mean, as long as you get them in there, it's more of to hold it, but that's what it looks like from the front. It's a lot different looking, obviously, you can see. And then so when you have a 17-inch wheel, you would see why the smaller fender would look better. So all right, so after working on my bike this afternoon, it's been driving me nuts how this sort of looked down here. So what I've decided to do is basically, if I was to raise it up another inch up top there, it looks really bad down here. So I'm gonna make a bracket out of some parts that I have for my bike. So here I've got my blinker, and I'm basically just gonna put it so it's like that. And so I'm gonna cut right here and drop it down an inch, and then that's how I'm going to hook this up so it looks better, because the way it was looking before, it was sitting too high and it looked funny. So let's do that. Alright guys, as you can see, I've finished working on it. I finished doing my brackets here, and obviously I've wrapped it. So one of the things I wanted to show you was I didn't like how high this was sitting here. So in order to do that, I had to drop it down an inch here, which shouldn't make too much of a difference with the light itself. So that's what it looks like now. I think it looks awesome. So as you can also see, I've done my little plastic washers that I was talking about to help finish that off, both in the front and the back. I just took some washers that you get with some average TVs that you have for mounting, and that's what I used for that. If you want to know how I did the wrap on the front fender, you can check it out. I've got a couple videos on my channel in regards to the wrap. I think this one turned out pretty good. I liked how nice and smooth it looks, and obviously the contrast of the two colors makes the bike look really awesome. And then if you want to see, that's what I did with the rear. I kind of did like a racing stripe. So I'll have some before and after pictures at the end of the video to show you sort of the difference between the two fenders, so be sure to check that out. And I'm really curious just to see what you guys think about this fender and what I've done with it. So be sure to leave a comment down below what you think of it, or if you like the video, definitely smash the like button. It's much appreciated. And again, only 10% of the viewers that watch my channel are subscribed, so the more people that subscribe, the more support I get on my channel, the more popular it gets. So much appreciated if you would hit the subscribe button, and thanks for watching.